Typically, we go to the hospital to treat an illness that we already have. But what if you walked into the hospital and left with something much more serious? According to an article written in 2017 by Stacy Haverstick, an RN with critical care nurse, this was the case for about 722,000 individuals in 2011. These infections that people pick up in the hospital are called HAIs, aka hospital-acquired infections, and the most common mode of transmission for these is through contaminated hands. I've spent hours researching how germs affect our lives and how something as simple as washing our hands can help us in defense against bacteria. Today I'm going to be talking about hand hygiene. First, I'm going to talk about how much bacteria we pick up and how it affects us. Second, I'm going to talk about how and why people don't wash their hands. And finally, I'm going to explain how to properly practice hand hygiene. First, I'll discuss how many germs we pick up. Second, I'll explain how these bacteria can affect us. Germs are everywhere. We pick them up when we sneeze, cough, or come in contact with pretty much anything. According to an article written in 2008 by Deborah McKenzie, a journalist with the New Scientist, titled "The Feminine Touch Carries More Germs," the average person's hands carry at least 3,000 different bacteria with more than 100 different species. These germs can have a large impact on our lives. Next, I'm going to discuss how much these germs can affect us. According to an article written in 2016 titled "Hand Washing, Clean Hands Save Lives," the germs that often catch onto our hands can cause different respiratory illnesses and can cause diarrhea, salmonella, and E. coli. Now that I told you about how easy it is to pick up bacteria, let me tell you about how many people don't wash their hands. First, I'm going to tell you about how many people don't wash their hands. Second, I'm going to tell you about how many people don't wash their hands properly. According to an article written in 2005 by the Minnesota Department of Health, a study done by the American Society on Microbiology showed that only 75% of females and 58% of males wash their hands after using the public restroom. Hand washing is so simple and effective, yet so many people neglect to do it at all. Now that I told you about how many people don't wash their hands, I'll tell you about how many people don't wash their hands properly. According to an article written in 2013 by A. Chan, a journalist with the Huffington Post, a recent study in the Journal of Environmental Health found that only 5% of individuals properly wash their hands long enough to kill these infection bacteria. So not only are people not washing their hands at all, those that do wash their hands, the small percentage, don't wash their hands properly enough to kill these infection-causing bacteria. I mean, why wash your hands if you're not going to even kill the bacteria on them? Now that I've told you about how many people don't wash their hands or don't do it properly, let me tell you about the solution to this problem. First, I'm going to tell you about why you need to practice proper hand hygiene. Second, I'm going to tell you about how to do it properly. According to an article written in 2000 by Ruth Lexier, an RN with Infection Control Today, hand washing is the single most effective way to prevent transmission of antimicrobial resistant organisms, such as bacteria that cause MRSA in humans. Hand washing is so simple, yet so effective. 30 seconds of your day could save you weeks of illness. How to properly conduct hand hygiene should be pretty simple, but as we can tell in different statistics, many people aren't doing it thoroughly enough. According to an article written in 2014 by Purva Mathur, an author with the National Institute of Health, titled "Hand Hygiene, Back to the Basics of Infection Control." We need to wash our hands every time we use the bathroom, before and after having food, and any time our hands are visibly dirty. If the dirt isn't visible, an alcohol-based sanitizer is usually sufficient. To properly wash your hands, lather some soap on your hands, making sure you get between your fingernails and underneath your nails. Scrub for at least 20 seconds, rinse and dry. Should be pretty simple, right? These simple steps can save us weeks of illness. We have discussed the importance of hand hygiene, or of hand washing, and how to practice hand hygiene. Now that I told you about how easy it is to pick up germs, how many people don't wash their hands properly, if at all, and the significance of hand hygiene and how to do it properly, I hope you could leave here today with an understanding of how something so simple, yet so effective, could save you thousands of dollars, your time, your health, the health of those around you, if done properly and often enough. Whenever you feel you've come in contact with something that could potentially make you sick, which is practically anything, if someone else doesn't wash their hands who's sick, touches that thing, it has the potential to get you sick as well. So practice hand hygiene as often as you can. And by doing this, you'll save yourself the risk of getting yourself ill or anyone around you ill.